Okay, we should be live. Going across the board. Didn't we get everybody get the email saying that we're live? Jesse?
Yep, I have been
Live.
notified.
Watch live now. There we go. All right. Yeah. All right.
I think my watch is a little slow.
Your
Giving
watch?
me notifications. There it just popped.
Hey everybody, how you doing? I look live. You look live to me. Thank you, sir. Woodsy hides tonight. Discussion. Give us a call 808-468-7924. Your thoughts on a Woodsy hide? Oh, there's my attorney line. So we're gonna get started in just a second here. But all things Woodsy tonight, kids. The sadly neglected Woodsy hides.
Mhm.
All right. You ready, Chad?
I'm ready.
Jess, you ready?
Sure.
Sure. All right. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
You wanna know how to find it. Seek it out when they hide it. You know it's in the bag when it's an easy grab. But come on, take a chance now. So go, geocache. And if you need help, we're right there in a flash. If you got a question, just call in and ask. Uncover the stash on the Geocaching Podcast. The Geocaching Podcast.
Welcome, everyone. It is Wednesday. It is 8:30, which means that it is once again time for the Geocaching Podcast. My name is Scott Burks. We have short end that's manning the phones. And please welcome to my virtual left, my co-host, Jazz 427.
Howdy, y'all. It's time for a walk in the woods.
That's right, guys. Tonight's episode 653, recorded live on February 10th, 2021, is the Woodsy Hides discussion. Phone lines are open. Give us a call, 808-468-7924, 808-GOT-SWAG. And for you international callers, you can give us a call free via the web at collinstudio.com/show/GCPC. But Chad,
Mm-hmm.
first,
First,
we do this every week. We got to
Patreon.
promote the Patreon, Chad. Guys, it costs a lot of money to make this show work. We can really appreciate your help. We got two ways you can help us out. You can go to PayPal. That's PayPal.me/the Geocaching Podcast. Make a one-time donation, whether it be $5 or $50, or Chad, or better
Mhm.
yet, you become a patron of our show, Chad. Patrons.
That's right.
Patrons get extra audio, extra video, only available to Patreon members. They get Patreon-only shows, Chad. They get path tags, coins, and they get stickers. They get everything. Our Urban Tree Canopy, our store, our podcast store, has. We get everything for dirt cheap. We give you a code. You get everything for like nothing.
That's right.
You can't go wrong on it. You want to become a patron, guys. You want to get into that geocoin. I just talked to the girl today from the coin place. She says the metal ones, not the, what are they called? I can't remember what she called them. The production ones. She's gonna be sending them to me any day, and then I'm gonna approve those, and then that's it. Then they're coming, Chad. It's gonna be
The
fun.
the early production
Yeah,
cast
they're gonna be,
ones.
they're gonna be beauties. Beauties,
Yeah.
Chad. So yep. So you want to get in on that as quick as you can, patrons, because there's only gonna be a limited number of patron coins, and once they're gone, they're gone. So you want to get on that. You hit that GeoCoin tier and become a patron, or you can do it. Starting as low as $3. We have different tiers. You get you different things, but every tier gets you all the audio, all the video. So that's
Right.
and it gets you the store stuff. So and the patron only shows. That's all tiers. So you want to help us? You want to become a patron? You can. You go to patreon.com. That's patreon.com/the Geocaching Podcast.
Promotional
Whoa.
consideration paid for by the following.
Like a rap.
I think our announcer has a little stutter there. Uh, tonight's show is brought to you by Cachly. Cachly is an advanced geocaching app for iOS. It features powerful online and offline features, including filtered searches, offline maps, and offline saving of caches. Cachly has hundreds of advanced features that will make your geocaching experience just that much better. Get more info at cachly.com. That's CACHLY.com.
Tonight, we're also sponsored by Logwork. Logwork are the creators of the fantastic logbook made with genuine Right in the Rain paper. Does the logbook design for the microcontainers. Oh, I can't speak tonight. The logbook design for the microcontainers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who would rather go cache than do cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's logwerk.com.
It's about time someone's more tongue twisted than me on the night.
I can usually burn right through that one. Someone caught me.
Yep. It's also brought to you by FTF Geocacher Magazine. FTF Geocacher is the magazine for geocachers written by geocachers. With 6 issues a year, FTF offers practical advice, hints and tips, cacher bios and milestones, geocaching events, trail tales, and all things geo-related. Find them at ftfgeocacher.com.
And by the Max Suds Body Company. Max Suds Body Company makes handmade bath and body products from all natural oils and butters. Items such as Poison Gone soap, itch spray, and 2-cent choices of bug spray are all great for outdoor enthusiasts like geocachers. At Max Suds Body, we have you covered from head to toe. Find them at maxsudsbody.com. That's MACSUDSBODY.com.
And by Practical Geocaching. Practical Geocaching sells utility items for geocaching. Our items are made in the USA, and we always provide free shipping. Find them at practicalgeocaching.com. That's PRACTICAL geocaching.com.
And by Arted Crafted. Arted Crafted creates unique, here we go again, creates unique geocaching themed tees and custom designs for you or your geocaching group. With adult sizes ranging from small to XL to 5XL, if you have an idea for a shirt design and can't find it, you've come to the right place. Please give us a call and please give us please give us the opportunity to show you how we can enhance your caching experience with your own custom design. And you know, Chad, since I've destroyed their Adam and add a little extra, these are also the guys who have the official shirts for the Lincoln Highway. You can only get Lincoln Highway shirts from Arted Crafted. So you want a shirt from you want a shirt, Lincoln Highway shirt, guys, with your state on it, you got to go to Arted Crafted, by the way. Visit them at artedcrafted.com. That's ARTEDCRAFTED.com.
And finally, buy PackTags.com for all your swag and pat tag needs. Visit our website to get creative help. Don't trip me up here. To trade or log tags, or to purchase your own personalized pat tags with over 41,000 tags to collect. PatTags.com is everything you need to start your pat tag obsession. Visit them at PatTags.com. That's PatThags.com. You got into my head.
I love Shelly Johnson. Does anyone else know these by heart? I should know it by heart. I have to read it every week. You think we know these by heart? And as always, Chad, you can find links to our sponsors on our website or
in our show notes.
Our show notes.
You can read the show notes and learn what they're supposed to say.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All this is, probably 9/10 of you guys have never visited our show notes ever. And, they're all live on our website. You can always go see them.
It's
and all
exactly what we look at.
This is exactly what I'm reading directly from the show notes. You can always go back and see, what it is and how bad we butcher it. I try.
And you can see the things we had in our show notes that we don't
don't
actually
even
talk
talk
about.
Yeah, I know.
That
You go
happens
to
a
our
lot.
website, geocachingpodcast.com. You go to our show, the individual show. You see show notes. They're all there. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we don't get to that are in our show notes. Especially when the phone calls start rolling in. Then especially
Definitely.
because we got to figure we assume no one's going to call, so we have to fill an hour. So if you guys call, and we love when you call, we prefer that you call. But if you don't call, we have to fill an hour. So sometimes a lot of our show notes don't get touched at all. Oh, Chad.
Yep.
Sorry. You guys should get some of your patrons to pre-record the sponsors. Yes, I know. But then we'd be sitting here twiddling our thumbs. What are we doing? I thought about that. We'd be like this,
But
5
wait,
minutes
this is
from-
an audio show, Scott, remember?
Yeah. So, but we'd still be sitting there bored.
But we gotta entertain the live audience here, and we're gonna sit here twiddling our
And
thumbs.
sometimes I like to interrupt
Fair.
Chad when he's doing one. So,
Exactly.
Fair enough.
all right, Chad. News. How about some news here? We got a little bit of news. Chad, things happening. Sorry about that. That was rather loud. Chad, how about those wonders of the world? Were we right or what? We were,
Yeah,
dead
looks
on
like
with
it.
that. Yeah.
Definitely.
The Wonders of the World promotion. 3 new souvenirs and 14 new wonders are coming to the Wonders of the World. Starting February 24th, geocachers can begin collecting the natural and solar system wonders stamps to become the ultimate explorer. Chad.
We were like dead on. Isn't that what we said?
Mhm.
With that
Yeah,
it'd be
we did.
space?
Yeah.
Yep.
Not too shabby. Not too. You think we'd have a little inside information, but we
Nope.
didn't. Nope.
No.
not at all.
That was a hunch.
Yep. So how about that, Jesse? What about the store? What's that going on there? Jesse, read the next two. Those are all you.
So our store, urbantreecanopy.com, currently has a sale. It only runs for another 2 days through February 12th at 5 p.m. Central Time is when the sale ends. 15% off everything. 15% off everything in the store.
Okay.
So that's urbantreecanopy.com.
Yes, if you want shirts.
Yep.
Geocaching.
And you can
shirts,
link to
regular
it
shirts.
from our website, geocachingpodcast.com.
Yes, it is. You can go to our site and just click on the store. Yes.
That's right. And one other thing that you can do from our website, geocachingpodcast.com, is sign up for our weekly email that I send out, Geocaching
all Jess.
Pod Blast.
All
Yep.
Jesse.
Find out some. I usually give sneak peeks on upcoming shows. And
2 weeks. You get 2 weeks advance.
2
don't you?
weeks of. I think I usually put out 2 weeks. Yep, and some updates on other things going on and other fun stuff. I always let you know if there's a sale in our shop. Those kinds
Then
of
you
things.
give picks. Your
Yeah,
Amazon pick.
product picks. That's
Yeah.
right. I like to highlight a product that we use, find useful.
Yes.
Let you guys know about it. So
Yeah, a lot of good stuff in that thing. That's just
Definitely.
filler. So yeah, so you can go to our website, or I think it's on Facebook too. Can't you?
you
go from
can
our
sign
Facebook?
up right through our Facebook page.
Yeah. So sign up to the for the Pod Blast. Comes every what? Tuesday morning. Is that what it comes?
Tuesdays. Every
Every
Tuesday
Tuesday.
morning it comes out.
Yep, you'll get it every Tuesday. You'll see last week's show, next week's show, and the show after that, and the week after that. Yeah. So join the Pod Blast, kids. It's always fun. And poor little Jessie, she does a good job on it every week.
I spend a lot of time on it.
No emails, Chad. No emails. So that means we can get right to the show, Chad. Right to the show.
right.
Guys, anybody want to talk about this? You can give us a call, 808-468-7924. 808 got swag. We'd love to hear your opinion on Woodsy hides. We're just going to be talking about Woodsy hides, but we would love to hear your opinions on Woodsy hides. Why don't people do Woodsy hides anymore, Chad? Why? And I'm mentioning that to everybody. Why? Well, what happened to the Woodsy hides? When I started caching, Chad, in 2008,
Mhm.
it was way more woodsy than there was urban. Way more. It was a hiking game, you know.
Yeah.
It was a get out into the woods and go hike game. Now it's a drive around your car and pick up skirts game, you know.
The evil LPC happened. That's what happened.
Dude, the evil LPC was there before. It was there before.
It was there, but people got more lazy, I think.
So your theory is laziness. That's your theory. That's your theory.
Well, I've got 3 theories. There's
enlighten us all.
and we'll go into all of them, but I'll just kind of hit the high levels there. There's the laziness aspect, there's the instant gratification aspect, and there's a cost aspect.
Okay, so you're going millennials and with the instant gratification and the younger crowd and then what was the other two?
The laziness and the cost.
Laziness. Okay, Jesse, what's your theory?
I called it convenience in my show notes, but it turns out to be laziness.
It's laziness. It's laziness.
That's what you think. Just straight up.
I mean, I definitely agree with Chad. I think there's some more parts to it also, as far as, you know, not only on the hider side, but also on the finder side. You know, why don't people hide them? But also, why don't people hunt them? You know, it goes both ways. But I think that we started to see a lot more quick park and grabs, LPC style, you know, guardrail style, those kinds of things, when people started using their smartphones and apps rather than GPS.
So you think it was a smartphone era that kicked in the
I think that definitely was the start of that trend. Definitely.
Yeah, and that kind of makes sense as well, because you had to put more effort into it, especially back in the day with regards to using a handheld GPS unit to get the information into your GPS and go out there. I mean, a lot of them didn't have geocaching tools built into them. So you just
Mhm.
had coordinates in some of the older GPS units, and so that made things you're more invested time wise and effort wise. So why not do it in the woods?
Hmm.
You
And
know, I'm sorry, just go ahead.
no,
Go-
I just was going to say, I feel like the demographic is probably very different. Your average cacher is not the same person that it was 15 years ago.
Mhm.
Right.
So you're saying, oh, so the younger generation is wants the instant gratification. They don't want to go hiking in the woods. They just want to play a game. Is what you're saying.
Yeah. Where 15 years ago it was the outdoorsy type, maybe the, for
Yeah,
lack of
it
a
was
better word,
definitely
the more
geared.
nerdy type or
It
geeky
was
type,
geared
but
toward the more outdoorsy. Yes,
Right.
back in the day, that's what it was.
right,
That's what it was geared towards.
right,
Yes, yes. Didn't happen. It turns out the nerds went and played it,
right.
but it got
And
the
now,
nerds
but
into the
now it's
woods.
totally different. Now it's about the finds. It's about, I mean, think about all the different types of caches that have come out since with, I mean, all the way up to adventure labs. Most adventure labs are not woodsy. I mean,
No,
we've
not at
Right.
all.
done,
No,
we've done maybe two that
do
take
they?
you like on a stroll through a
Yes,
park or through a
yeah,
preserve.
that's right. Yes. Speaking of Chad, speaking
Hmm.
of, I'm totally going off topic here. I apologize. Jesse, why don't you tell Chad about the email you got the other day?
I, Shorty Knits, because of my highly favorited adventure lab, have
Hmm.
been awarded an additional adventure lab.
Oh, congratulations!
Shorty Knits, because of my adventure
Who did
lab.
it, Chad?
Congratulations, Scott.
Who did the
Right?
whole thing? Who did the whole thing?
Yeah, I knew we were going there.
She was awarded the second one.
Yeah. So, hey, Scott, what are you going to do for my next adventure lab?
Oh. I don't know. That was my piece de resistance. I didn't think I was getting another one. That was I went all in. I went all in with the chips on that one. I don't know.
We'll have
That's
to find
fine.
another one. Are there
I
more
got to think about it.
buffaloes? Maybe we'll do
Oh,
part
maybe
two.
we'll do Highland Park.
Oh, yeah, we could totally do
Yeah,
Highland
remember
Park.
Highland Park?
Downtown. I love
Yeah.
downtown Highland Park. That'd
Remember,
be
I had one
nice.
all set up. I had one all set up for North Court too, that I didn't do because I wound up
The,
doing Wrigley,
the mall.
the
Mm-hmm.
mall. Yep, so, and I can do inside a mall. Yeah. Sorry guys, totally off topic. Let's bring it back. I apologize. I just I didn't want to forget that because she said it, and it was funny. She sends me an email, a text the other day. She said, "Guess what I got?" Yeah, great.
Thanks for the
Um,
favorite points.
yeah. Um, did you check to make sure you have a credit? It says some were sent out by mistake and didn't really get tested.
Oh,
Yeah, she's
no,
going right now to go check.
I'm
Ooh.
going to go check.
So guys, we'd love to hear your opinion on this on a Woodsy Hides. Why do you think people don't hide Woodsy or find Woodsy anymore? 808-468-7924. Love to hear your opinion. Chad, here's the thing is that
Mhm.
I agree with you. People don't like hiding Woodsies or people don't like finding Woodsies. They don't like doing that. And yet when I put out last year, when I put out my Woodsy Hides, what did I put out? 17 caches just that were along a trail. It was along this new trail. I get so many great people saying, "Thank you so much. This is awesome. What a great day we had." So people are
Right.
people are doing it and they're loving it, and yet they don't do more.
Are they the older generation though
Both.
that or the both? Okay.
I had one guy. Just remember, I had one guy. He had like 10 finds. He was actually telling me, like, I think one of mine he actually moved. I have to go check. I think he
Oh,
moved one
yes.
of mine.
I remember that log. Scott
Moved
sent
it
me an email
to
like,
moved it to a better
You
location.
can't move my
Yeah.
stuff, dude. Don't move my stuff. Yeah, yeah. But like a new guy,
That's cool.
and he could not find. I had I had a bolt on a stop sign because it was in between the path across the streets, and so
Right.
there was a spot right there, and I put a bolt on the stop sign just as a cleanse the palate. He couldn't
Right.
find it. Couldn't find it. Remember, Jess?
oh,
We
yeah.
drove by and checked. I'm like,
We
yeah, there it
went
is.
and checked.
Couldn't find it. Still hasn't found it to this day. Can't find it. I won't give him a hint. He'll figure it out. He's got to figure it out.
Uh, yeah.
People don't like going to find what it's like. People don't like going to find the cache if it requires effort. They prefer to park. But is that true though? I mean, are we really
See,
saying that?
I like going for a hike in the woods and finding them that way. personally.
Yes,
But
I agree.
but I'll also do a day of PNGs as well.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I prefer to hike in the woods. That's my prefer, but we can't always do that, or we don't have the time to do that, or it's nighttime and we just go park and grabs. But if you gave me an option, what I enjoy doing when I geocache is going for a hike in the woods. Yeah,
Hmm.
preferably not in 10 degrees if I had the choice.
Right.
So yeah, it's but I don't know. I can't imagine it's laziness. I can't believe that would be my okay. So my thought is, this is my thought. We heard Jesse, we heard Chad. My thought is, I agree with the younger generation. I think people are doing what they know, and I think it kind of the LPC kind of snowballed. Okay, and so it got to the point where especially with streaks now, everybody wants a streak and all that. So people are imitating what they see, and what are they
Hmm.
seeing? They're seeing a crap ton of LPCs. They're seeing a crap ton maybe in a park. You know, they're not going into the woods. They don't have to go into the woods. We had to
Right.
go into the woods, Chad.
Right.
That's where the caches were. The caches
They're,
were in the woods.
they're looking on their phone. They see the mass of them are the
Right.
highest density are tend to be urban caches. So they're going and hitting those urban caches, and they're putting out urban caches. And they look around. It's like, oh, well, there's a few scattered out here. Yeah, I don't really want to go there because they're I don't get as, and this is where part of the instant gratification comes. I don't get it. I don't get enough smileys by going and doing those few that are on a trail as I would in hitting this urban area. And then you got the other side of the instant gratification where you're getting when you're hiding, getting the numbers, getting high numbers for your for the caches that you put out.
Oh,
And I think that's a lot of the reason why lots of people don't put out puzzles or multis here either,
it's because people
because
don't hit them.
people don't hit them.
Yeah, people don't hit multis. Yeah, or puzzles. Puzzles depends on the puzzle. Yeah, I don't know. Jesse, what do you prefer? Do you prefer the woods? If I said you let's go caching, what would you want to do? What is your perfect caching day?
Honestly, it depends. It
Okay.
depends on the weather.
Okay.
It depends on how much time we have.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean I think those are the two factors.
All right. We have all day, and it's beautiful outside.
Oh, let's go to the
75,
woods.
75 degrees, and it's
100%.
beautiful.
Let's go for a hike. 100%. And then after it gets dark, then we can go hit some park and grabs.
Get some dinner and then hit some parking.
Absolutely. That would be the perfect caching day for me.
Oh, how long has it been since we've done that?
Oh my gosh, it's been so long.
Ugh.
But now that being said, I also love road trips. So like Scott and I are talking about going back on and starting on counties in other states because we have Illinois completed. So now we're like, okay, let's go, spend the day in Indiana, right? So those aren't going to be obviously woodsy hides that we're going to find on a 1 day road trip to go see how many counties we can
Right,
find in another
because
state.
you're trying to hit counties.
Right. Right.
Obvious.
So why are you caching then? Are you caching for the experience? Are you caching for your stats? Are you caching for a goal?
Right.
I think those are.
But are you also trying to do anything like hit the higher favorited caches in the counties that you're hit? You can still, it's not going to be quite as efficient, but you can still do somewhat efficient by and hit some of the higher favorited caches.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, but we're not going to go hike through the woods.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Right.
go to Indiana.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna drive an hour to Indiana and then hike through the woods. I want to get. If I'm gonna go there for the day and not sleep over. Thank you, COVID. I want to make sure that I'm trying to get as many counties as I can. And make it worth it.
Right. It's like me when solving a geo art when I saw the first 10 and they're all hikes through the woods. I'm thinking, and this is out of state, of course. I'm thinking I'm never going to do this and stop solving them. Because realistically, you got several hundred caches in this geo art. you're not going to do several hundred caches of walking through the woods in an out of state trip. You're just not going to get it done.
Mhm.
If you live there, that's a different story.
True. Looking at the chat room, people are saying, my kids like finding ammo cans in the woods. Micros are no fun for them, so I usually pass on micros if the kids are with me. Yes, I agree with that totally. Shelly says, enjoying geocaching and liking to hike are not mutually exclusive. Absolutely. Oh no,
Right. Oh, yeah, definitely.
LPCs and drive ups absolutely 1000% have a place in this game. I am not denying that in any way, shape, or form. I am just saying, curious why more people aren't, I'm seeing around the woods being filled up and not the woods being filled up with caches. I mean, what I'm saying, as the years go by, the old woodsy caches are getting archived and they're not getting replaced. The new ones aren't coming out in the woods. They're just staying barren. And I'm just curious. I'm just want to have a discussion. Why is that? Why is it happening? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with not liking to hike. That you don't have to like to hike the geocache in any way. But my point was earlier was it used to be a hiker's game. It used to be. Most people like that because you had to. There was not that many LPCs. Leah says most people don't want to deal with the poison ivy. Well, I agree with that. I don't like poison ivy either. And I've gotten it many times in some very, very bad places. It's part of the game, at least I consider it part of the game. I don't consider this game to be an LPC game. I think poison ivy comes with the territory and it's part of the game. You just gotta know what it looks like and pay attention to it and try to avoid it.
Right. And if you move to another area or travel to another area that has poison oak, you need to learn to identify that and as well, and so just because yours look this way and that's what you're used to doesn't mean that when you move or go somewhere else, it doesn't have something else. So
yeah, no, I totally agree. Jill Shelley also says creativity is mostly lacking on the trail. 10 Tupperwares and a tree hole are no different than 10 LPCs. Yeah, but I guess exercise is the other option, and seeing some really cool things. I've seen some amazing things in the woods, and some people I'm seeing mentioning as well, talking about weather. Guys, you can go hiking in the winter. It's the woods are gorgeous in the wintertime. Absolutely beautiful. How about in the fall? I mean, are you kidding? They're gorgeous in the fall. It's there's no bad weather, only bad clothing choices. We've said this numerous times on this show. Never bad weather. You're just not dressing properly. But no, the best part about winter is you can go night caching in the woods, man. And it's like daytime out there. It's fantastic. I love it. So, Chad, let's take a call real quick. We're going to take California. We got GSM times 2. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello, sir. How are you?
How are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing wonderfully.
Good.
And I absolutely agree with you. The original hiking, geocaching 15 years ago was all out on the trails.
Yeah.
And that's part of the issue is those caches that were hidden, they're still out there. They were added to, they were found, and they're just sitting there, not being renewed because they're still there. Another part of it is, those people who were 55 and out hiking 15 years ago are now 70, and a lot of them aren't hiking. We had a group, the Friday Caching Crew. They were all hikers, and a few years ago I set a tribute cache for them 3 miles from a trailhead, and they have not gone out to get it yet. So we're just getting older, and hiking is kind of a niche activity, and a lot of people just don't do it. And if you go to a lot of the mega events, you'll see that the population at the mega events are not people who hike.
It's pretty amazing to me that when I started caching, when I first started geocaching in 2008, it was a hiking game. That's what it was. It was a woods game. You go into the woods and you find a cache, and occasionally you'd have some urban ones, and those are always cool, But it was a hiking man's game. Yeah, that was part of the game to go into the woods. And prior to geocaching, I believe it or not, I was not a woodsy guy. I'm a Jew. Jews don't go in the woods. Jews don't hike. Jews don't hunt. We don't do that. Like this game taught me everything I know about the woods. Now I know a lot. I've been doing it for years. But like this game taught me. I learned to love it. I learned to love to go on hikes and to go into the woods. I never went into a forest preserve when I was, before geocaching ever. I think I ever stepped foot in one. So where did that change? How did that change? How did it stop becoming that kind of a woodsy game? Scott, to you.
I think, well, again, as I said in the chat, I've done all the hikes around here. I've done all the hikes for 25 miles around me, and there's no neat geocaches out there. So if I'm going to go for a hike to geocache, I need to, leave the county and go someplace completely different,
Mm-hmm.
an hour and a half away. And, and then we have to kind of give credit or blame to, the power trails, the geo art, the things that can drive people's numbers
Mm-hmm.
really high, really quickly.
Mhm.
I'm sure when the first time I went geocaching, we hiked 7 miles and got 5 geocaches. We got every geocache on that trail.
Mm-hmm.
And, and again, yeah, people, I'm not going to call it laziness. I'm just going to call it that the focus is different. The
Yeah.
focus is now
Right.
on the numbers,
Right.
on the experience, or on the numbers,
Yeah.
not the experience of going out and hiking to this really great waterfall.
And that's a shame. It really is. It really is a shame. That this next generation of cachers aren't like that. Because that's what made the game great, was just getting out there and just hiking all day, just going out there. I mean, urban cachers were for the weekdays. The weekends were for the woods. Back in the day. I mean, that's the way it was, and it's a shame.
And I'm not even sure I could blame it on the next generation. It's the current, it's the old generation also, who's not out there hiking around.
Mm-hmm. All right, man. I appreciate the call. Thanks for your opinion. I'd love
Hey,
to hear your
always.
opinion.
You guys have a good day, and hope to hear from other people.
All right. Talk to you soon. Be safe.
Okay.
Chad, we have got. Oh, good Lord. How did this happen? We've got Cody Dog on the phone. Hello, Cody.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going tonight, guys?
Fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well.
What's up? What's your take on all this? Because Cody is a millennial. He does hike. When I met Cody in the very beginning of his caching career, like what were you, 15 or something like that, Cody? How many did you have when I met you?
Oh gosh, no. I think I would say at a cool 100.
Oh, Jesse was 15 when I met her. Then I think Jesse.
That's
was
correct.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it was just floating around 100.
All right. But Aaron, okay, Aaron. That being said, when I met you, how many hikes had you gone on? Have you been more woodsy or were you more urban before you met me?
It was definitely only urban.
Only urban. Okay. So I'm the one who dragged you into the woods.
You.
Me? Yes.
At like midnight when there was an FTF, in the preserves. You got to go, right?
Of course you do. Back
Yes,
in the
you
day.
do.
Yeah. Of course
Oh,
we
yeah.
did. All right. So what's your take on all this? Give me your opinion.
So I think it really comes down. Well, for me, I think it comes down to risk, right?
Risk. Okay.
So what I mean by risk is like, okay, am I gonna go hiking by myself, and possibly, what if I get injured, or like, what if, I come across something that is potentially dangerous and something like that? I'm less likely to go out to take that risk, unless if I have someone to go with me,
Mhm.
kind of a support.
Sure.
So I think a lot of that is, if you don't have a buddy, I'm more likely to go do a park and grab, because I've got the community around me. But on the other side, the risk would be if I'm going out in the woods and I'm probably only going to get, let's say, 5 or 10 in a preserve, your risk of getting the reward too. The preserve caches that I've seen don't get replaced as quickly as a park and grab. And so there's that idea too, where it's like, okay, I've gone hiking and it's just like, I kind of want that reward at the end. Being a millennial, I kind of do like that reward at
Needs
the
the
end.
cookie.
Be like,
Needs the cookie.
I hiked.
Go
I
ahead. Sorry.
hiked for 5 hours and I only got 2, and I got burned on the remaining 6.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Like,
But you also got to hike and you exercise and you saw really cool things. It's more than that. It's not
Sure.
just
but I could have also done a sweet park and grab because I don't want to the FOMO, fear of missing out. And like I want to get that trail that everyone has that makes a cool geo art.
for sure.
So like I could have gotten that, and that got turned over. That gets turned over more frequently, and I know that I'm going to have a successful day.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. So do you think the kids today, I shouldn't say kids, the new cachers, I mean, obviously you look at the game board, let's look at the game board today. Okay. The game board today, you open up your map and caches are everywhere. Mostly, I'd say 90%, not maybe not 90. What do you say, Chad? Is it 70-30 urban to woodsy, you think?
I think it depends upon where
Where you
you're at.
Fair enough. Okay. All right.
I would say out here in California, maybe 65-35. I mean, we have a lot of caches that are hidden out, not necessarily woodsy, but not in urban areas. So they're on a trail somewhere. So a lot of our wilderness isn't necessarily woodsy.
Mhm.
But you have some big oak trees and stuff that widespread apart.
Right.
And so you'll find them on those type of trails. So there's plenty out there if you want to go for it. Now they're not hit as often, and that's part of the key. And when you miss them, like I was out here. I'll pull this up here. I need to move that to another window so you can see it.
But how is it any different than driving up to one and it's not there? Is it because you had to walk all the way there and it's not there, and I have to walk all the way back? I mean,
yeah.
exercise.
I mean that's well. So this here is.
We're looking at a map. Sorry, everybody.
This is a map, and
oh, yeah, look at those DNFs right there.
this right here going down this path, and then coming back this path here. I wound up having 3 DNFs, and it was a 6-mile hike with 1,200 feet of elevation change. I mean, for my fat bottom, that was a lot of effort.
Sure. Oh, so you're saying the effort, the effort, and then you got a DNF. Is what you're saying. So you
and then and it's like I need to go back out and basically do almost the entire path again and clear up these 3 caches so I don't have frowny faces on my map.
Right. But one of the things earlier in my career I used to love to do was to clear out preserves. I would keep going back to the same preserve to clear it out, and to me that was fun. Every weekend or whenever I had time, I would go back to that preserve, back, and just hit a little more of it and hit a little more.
And all of those caches are in a preserve, but it is lots of differences in elevation and it's a good bit of effort, so it takes time to clear it out. Unlike when I lived in Houston, everything was mostly flat.
That's where we live too. It's all flat. It's all
right.
Flat. Anything else, Cody, Doug?
Well, so I was thinking about it, and like if I were in that scenario where I was going down a trail, I was hiking, and if it was the same hiker, and I came across 2 in a row that were DNFs, I might consider just junking that trail, and I might have turned around at that point. Like, oh, this isn't, this thing doesn't get maintained, or maybe it's not my day, or like I'm just off that for that day. I think I might just reconsider that.
Yeah,
The thing is, I bet all three of those are there, and I just
you
couldn't
just
find
couldn't
them.
find them. Yeah, yeah, that happens. Hey, man, some days the caching gods do not smile upon you. Some days they do,
Oh yeah,
but
that's
some days they don't. You know? Many times,
I've
Jess,
had
have
those
we
days.
said like, "Oh, we're done today. We're done. This is
Oh,
it.
for sure.
It's just not our day today."
Yep.
In fact, one of them was found that same day by a friend of mine. Um, let's see, look at the other one.
Did that cause you to go out, or was it after you were out?
Pardon me.
You said your friend found it the same day. Was that before or after you?
I'm not certain. I didn't see the log, so.
Oh, well,
But you know, he was out there the same. So there was a CETO that day, and after the CETO, people went off, and I didn't think anybody was going the trail that I was taking to do it. Otherwise, I would have teamed up with other individuals. So
all right, Cody. Thanks, buddy. Thank you for your opinion.
All right,
Be well. We'll talk to you.
all right. You guys have a good night.
Bye bye.
Thanks.
So Jesse, what about you? What else you got on this topic here? I see you got more in your show notes. Anything else you want to add to this?
Well, yeah, I mean, so we're talking about finding. Let's talk about hiding, right?
Okay, absolutely.
So in our area, it seems like the majority of our woodsy hides are hidden by a small handful of hiders, right? Like I can name
Sure.
specific people who hide the majority of those woodsy hides. Why is that?
Why is it only a certain number of people?
Why do other people not, specifically
Well, I
go
think
out
there's
and
many
hide
reasons.
in the woods?
I don't mind hiding in the woods. I've done it many times. I don't mind that at all. My guess would be maintenance. Yeah, it's a lot harder to maintain one in the woods,
Yep.
especially if if it gets DNF'd, you're like, oh, I mean, I do it,
Right. Right. Who wants to hike
you
a
know,
mile out
yeah,
and back to go
for no
check on a
reason. You're not getting
cache
anything out of
that was DNF'd? Right.
right.
right,
Then you
I
go
mean,
and it's right there, and it's like, there it is. What's wrong? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, like the furthest one out here that I did would have been like I said, a 6 mile round trip hike to for someone to go maintain, and
Mhm.
that's like I would not. I think the furthest I put one out was about 2 miles. So that's a 4 mile round trip, and it's like you're getting to a point where it's like I don't want to. It's like
It gets a
I
couple
can't
DNFs, just
maintain it.
archive it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, but was it an ammo can? I mean, what was it?
It was. It wasn't an ammo can. I think it was. It was maybe a plastic peanut butter jar in Houston. So
Hmm.
it's been a while since I hit it. So
I mean, I have a cache that's probably over a mile into the woods. One of them Jesse hasn't found. One of the rare of my caches Jesse hasn't found. But she can't even hear me now, so it's the best. That Chad, it's a total cheat. You have to from parking, it's over a mile, and it's a nasty bushwhack with thorns. I've talked about it on the show before. Nasty bushwhack with thorns and stuff. It's a brutal walk, but I love hearing people's stories. People write, and it's the best. They put really good logs because it's a nightmare to get to. The thing is, if you come from the north, it's a parking lot and you walk right to it. But it's in a neighborhood. So you don't think that there's access from the neighborhood. There's totally access from the neighborhood. I took the neighborhood. I walked right down. I walked 400 feet, dropped the cash in a, in
oh,
a tree stump.
whenever there's ones like that, and I look at it and I see it on the map, it's like I'm using
Yeah, he
Google
didn't walk
Street.
in my
I'm using Google Street View and seeing if I can't find a way to get through from the other end.
Yeah, you'd be like, he'd hike 2 miles to get that thing. No way.
Exactly.
So let me see. Let me see if I can find one last time. It rarely gets hit because it is a nightmare. So it rarely gets hit. I'm trying to see if I can see how. It's been a while since this thing got hit too, but it's like a Shan's 2000 or something like that. I can't remember the name of it, But if anybody, whoever comes out here and wants to do it, I'm telling you, there's a cheaty way. I don't even think Jesse knows about it because I want to read her log. But yeah. So yeah. Um, so we're talking about hiding. So let's talk about different ways, different hiding places. If you're, well, first of all, when you're hiding a cache in the woods, it's different than hiding a cache regular, obviously, because you don't want to go maintain it, especially if you put it way out there. Maybe you put in some parking. No, that's not the fun. The fun is what? Jess?
No, I totally agree with this. There is
what is it?
nothing more frustrating
Oh,
that
okay.
especially if you're in an area that you're not really familiar with and like how on earth where do I park? How do I get there? It's like am I on the right side of the woods? You know what I mean? Like definitely put in parking cords, please.
Yeah. Well, I think
I think that helps get people out.
You know, I don't personally. I don't pay attention to parking cords.
Just-
I never have. So and while it's bit me in the past, I'm usually better served looking at it myself and trying to figure out, because sometimes I've been given parking cords. It's like, yeah, there's way better ways, better places to park.
Of course, but
So-
like what if you're in an area that you're unfamiliar with? You know, if you're traveling, you're out of town, and like, yeah, the locals all know that preserve and they all know where to park and they know the shortcuts to get in and stuff, but you don't know, right?
Oh, I always use satellite view and street view if I can,
Right.
and other things to try to see. Hey, is there some better way in here than what I think?
Right. Sure.
Agreed.
Okay, guys. For the record, the cache I was talking about is GC2RP16. That's GC2RP16. You can probably see exactly what I'm talking about. So in the meantime, and for the record, it gets hit once a year, maybe. This is what it gets.
Hey,
So-
you got a picture of Lewis and
Yeah, that's
Clark
Wally.
there.
Yeah, it's Walt
Yeah.
Grogan with the Lewis and Clark. Yeah. So getting back to the hide. So when you're hiding, there's many things you have to think about when you're hiding in the woods. You have to talk about, you should hide a regular or a large, maybe a small, maybe. That's about as low as you should go. Avoid the micro, especially if you're making them bushwhack or go on a long hike. Don't give them a micro Chad. Don't give them a micro after a mile hike, please.
Mhm.
Right?
Why not?
Wow, Jesus Christ. We're bringing out a boat in.
I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna hide a micro in the. I'm gonna hide a micro in the woods for you,
For me.
dedicated to you.
I appreciate
And by the way, that one, there. I see two different alternate paths that I most likely would have tried.
But guess what most people do? They go to parking in Deer Grove and they hike up. They hike north. That's what they do.
Yeah,
It is
well,
a
not me.
nightmare. Not me either. Trust me. Ian, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I know you'd have a take on this. What's your take on all this?
Yeah, I knew you were going to call. So I couple things. Number one, when Jesse was talking about hiding stuff, I don't remember what I called for. She was talking about hiding stuff in the woods and hiding being different than finding and whatever. And here, I've heard in my area, and I know in my area there's a lot of somebody else brought this up in the chat too. I don't remember who it was, so I can't give them credit. I'm sorry. But park systems have permits and stuff like that, and for whatever reason, that seems to like scare people away from hiding caches in like our awesome parks that we have here. Like they act like the parks don't want it when really it's just the parks just want to be informed. You know what I mean? So I think that's a big reason why more aren't hidden in parks, is because there's extra steps, right? Like sometimes it feels like you can just, drive up to a Walmart and just, nope, here's cash. Drive away.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
And it's extra maintenance too, because the ones by us you have to update it yearly. I think, Jess,
Yeah.
if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
the ones by us, you have to go and like with
Re-up it.
somebody there once a year and go and check on it.
Yeah,
they,
it's like
like
an
they
effort.
go out with you
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but
So,
that would
I
be a
think,
hassle.
I think
absolutely.
that's a big part of it. The other thing too, as I was sitting here listening, and I'm half falling asleep, so I might have missed you guys talking about this already. But you mentioned, hiding in the woods is different too. And you talked about like not hiding micros and whatever else.
Mhm.
A lot of times it's hard to find the right container. Sometimes I find, right? So I have kind of I have two standard like Woodsy kind of cache containers that I use. They're both lock and locks, or two different sizes of lock and locks. And I usually go out with a bag full of both if I'm putting out a handful in a park or on a trail or something like that. I kind of just, pick whichever one fits the location the best, depending on the hiding spot. But, a lot of people, if they go out there with a regular and they can't find a spot for a regular, and it's like, well, now what do I do? Or, it's double the work to go out and scout out a location first and then go back home and find the right container, and then B, go back out to hide it. So it's more like work, but, and I think the converse to that is true too, where, finders maybe don't like them as much because of that. Not that they're lazy, but sometimes they're not really in the mood for a challenge of like, in the woods, there's a million hiding places, in the lamp skirt, there's one. So,
yeah, but part of the finding is part of the fun is trying to find it. That's
for sure.
You get four people around this
like you
huge
said
down
earlier,
tree. That's the best. That's fun.
Yeah, but it depends on the day. Like you said, like it just depends on the day. I think they both have their uses, right? Both woodsy and non-woodsy. I don't know. Maybe we start a Woodsy campaign. We'll start a Woodsy campaign, like hashtag.
What's the anti dirtbag? No dirtbag. There's one already. It's called the Dirtbag Society, isn't that? Aren't they the?
They're not really woodsy.
No, they're not woodsy.
Well, they're not. They're not necessarily anti-woodsy. They're
pro woodsy, aren't they?
They're pro woodsy.
They're pro like old
difficult.
School, what we would consider old school, like ammo cans in the woods and like hikes and.
But they're also sewer. They're also sewer dives and hanging under bridges and all kinds of other different ones as well.
They're terrain junkies, basically.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So this kind of led into my cost base statement, which is basically an ammo can does take a fair amount more investment than a pill bottle you're ready to throw away. Not saying that you can't put something else in the woods, as we can attest to today, but a hide in the woods needs to be more robust than something that you'd put in an LPC, especially if you want it to be low maintenance.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. You want that low maintenance. You definitely want to get that ammo can or a good lock and lock. Because weather matters. I mean, it's whether you live in Texas or whether you live in Chicago, weather matters, and weather does affect it. You put a bad lock and lock out there, or a what do they call it? Just the flimsy ones, the flimsy not a lock and lock, but like a Gladware. I mean, one Chicago winter is going to eat that thing. It'll just destroy it.
Yeah.
So when I was living in Houston, by the time I was ready to move from Houston, around 2015, I would say actually starting probably around 2013 timeframe, ammo cans kept on getting stolen. And so I was putting them out with cabling them so that they to trees so that they couldn't get stolen. And then people was literally went out there with cable cutters, cut the cables
just
to take the ammo cans.
Why?
And it's like, oh my God, and these were at least quarter mile plus hides in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
You know, up to over a mile in the woods, hides, and
Yep.
it's like, oh my god, people.
And if you're gonna hide in the woods, two things I stress. Three things I stress. One, make it an ammo can or something that's weather appropriate. It's going to survive the weathers, whether it be Texas or California or Chicago. Two, uh, load that thing with swag. Don't be that
Mhm.
guy. Put a ton of swag in it. And three, take the swag that you're putting in it and put it in a Ziploc bag. Don't just leave it in the ammo can. Put them in Ziplocs. That's my advice. Same thing with the log. Put it in a Ziploc bag because if the water does happen to get in there, and it might, especially in winter, your stuff's protected. It's not because
Yeah.
is there anything worse yet opening up an ammo can and it's just everything is just goop and gross
Yeah, that's
and
disgusting.
Yeah, it's gross.
so those are my three little things for you if you're gonna hide. And I recommend everybody does. Everybody should hide some in the woods.
I only
Okay,
follow
so
one of those rules, by the way.
what'd you say? What'd you say, Animal?
I only follow one of your three guidelines.
And which one
I'm
is that
very
one?
sorry.
Which one is that one?
The first one about the containers, I could care less about swag.
You don't put swag, dude. How do you not put swag? What about the kids,
No.
dude? Think about the kids.
Dude, I have 500 some odd caches out there. You think I'm gonna go buy that many Happy Meals?
Yeah. Yes, you have a kid. Give the kid McDonald's what he wants. Come on, man.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience for that. It's hard enough making 500 cache containers, let alone like, oh, here's some spider rings.
Well, are you
The,
putting
the
those
dollar
containers
sword,
in the
dude.
woods? In the woods, or are you putting them on like a trail, or are you putting them just under
No,
LPCs?
I have a good mix of both. I mean, I just put out like a 75 long cache trail thing in the woods, and then I got another park that has like 25 in it, and another park with like 20 in it, all through the woods and the trail, and then I have a whole bunch of park and grabs and micros all over the place. And so
Okay.
I like both. Like I said, I think they both have a home, or a
Dude,
place in the game.
that all has a place in the game. Yeah, I want to reiterate
Yeah.
that as much as I can. Is we talk about various different things on this show all the time. It all has a place, whether it's an LPC, whether it's a park hide, whether it's a ammo can. All has their own places. Power trails. I'm a power trail. I'm pro power trail. It all has a place in this game. Everything does. It's just a game, and it all has a place. So, all right, thank you on a boat for calling in, Ian. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you,
Get
guys.
well, be safe.
All right, see ya.
Bye bye.
Right.
Jesse, anything else you got on your list there?
Yeah, I have a couple things, but I want to
ahead.
bring up a point that that GSM times 2 made in the chat room
Sure.
a bit ago. And to answer the question, yes, I did get the lab credit.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah. So,
Fantastic.
yeah. But Scott said I hit a cache on a trail 2 years ago. It has 7 finds. What's the joy in that? And I think that goes hand in hand with like the gratification. Why do we hide them? We hide them because we want people to find them. We want to know that what we're putting out there, people are finding and liking and enjoying, and they're getting some sort of satisfaction from that. And if you put one out in the woods and it gets hit 7 times in 2 years, or you put one in your local park, and it gets hit once or twice a month, I think that brings the hider more satisfaction as well.
Possibly. Yeah.
So
Definitely.
now that being said, some of my favorite woodsy type hides are actually like woods in urban areas. So like a
Woods
little
in herb. Okay.
right.
Just
So like a
make it-
little pocket woods. Okay.
Mhm.
We have an industrial park somewhat near us, and in between two like factory style buildings, there's this tiny little pocket woods, maybe a third of an acre. I mean, it's not very big, but it's a nice, beautiful woods with a nice walking trail that goes through it, and it's like this beautiful, serene setting in the middle of an industrial park, and there's a cache there,
Which
and
one is it? Which cache?
I don't remember. It was years and years ago, but it stuck in my mind, like
Right.
it was special enough that it stuck in my mind. And so I feel like maybe if we find more places like that, these like hidden gems, entice people to be like, oh, I like this setting. You know, I want to find more woods type caches. Cody says SB 15K. I don't think it was your 15K.
Where was my 15? I don't remember where my 15
I don't remember which
was.
one's your. It wasn't one for you. It was one, Scott. I'm surprised you don't remember it because I think that you actually took me there.
Really?
I think so.
Where is it? What city?
Somewhere up north, maybe like Lincolnshire area. It's not far from us.
I can't think of what it is.
I can't remember, but you know, I mean, it's like just something hidden that you know.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't disagree
Kind of
with
the
you
best of both worlds.
Right.
You know.
Sure, yes. Anything else?
That's all I have.
Okay. Hiding when you're hiding in the woods, Chad. Let's talk about this for a second. Different ways to hide in the woods, Chad. Down trees, hollow logs, great places to hide a cache.
Mhm.
Put an ammo can, slip it right in there. Looks fantastic, beautiful. Up in
Yeah,
trees.
slip it in, slip it under, slip it. You know, there's
Sure.
all kinds of places with
Yeah.
down trees.
Up in trees. How about the trees that are actually still there, still standing? Put it
Oh
up
yeah,
in the tree.
that's quite popular here. So needing a top to get it down, or needing to climb the tree to get to it. I mean, one of the ones that I hit on here, and it's not really a spoiler because you gotta solve a puzzle to find the coordinates, but you have to climb up into a tree to get an ammo can, and the previous hider indicated that they put it up higher than what it was. So that thing was a pain to get to, and I almost decided not to do it because of worried about falling and getting injured, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm out here in the middle of almost nowhere. I'm a good a couple hundred feet off the trail, so I could have been left there,
Sure. Gotta be careful.
but I got it.
Yeah. Zachary Harrison in the chat says the telescoping ladder. Oh, Jesse, how many times have we had the telescoping ladder
A
in a
lot.
park or in a woods?
Oh yeah.
There's been times where I've wanted a telescoping ladder.
Remember that graveyard, Jess? Remember that one graveyard in Highland Park?
Oh yeah.
With that oh man, that thing was
Mhm.
so high.
Hmm.
I was at like Chad. I was like my feet were at the top of the ladder. You know what I mean? Like my feet were like it was that high. Like oh, it was so uncomfortable. I hated that so much.
By the way, this thing was carabinered onto a
Nice.
limb, so you weren't getting the top to get it off there. You had to climb it.
No, Jim Arcade ladder in the woods. No, if you have a telescoping ladder, Jim, you could just literally just carry it on your back. It's pretty easy. It's not too bad. It's not that heavy. You'd be surprised.
I've seen ones that are like backpacks.
Backpacks. Yeah, ours is not a backpack. Ours is like a bag.
Ours has a
bag.
carrying strap, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
So up in trees, the old Keebler elves hide, Chad. The old look before you stick your arm in there hide. But
Oh yeah.
we see a lot of those here. Those are really popular, pretty popular here. The pile of sticks, Chad, on the side of a tree, that weirdly, oddly stacked pile of sticks. Always a favorite of mine.
Oh
These-
yeah.
As I see it used to always say, the stickaflage is what he used to call it back in the day. What do you gadget caches? You know, one of my favorites too is you find a gadget cache strapped to a tree in the woods,
Hmm.
hidden in plain sight, just right there. It's just a gadget cache. I love those, man.
I love those too.
It's just, and like that's the worst one. Like when you have to like bring a battery and you don't have a battery. That's why I carry batteries in my bag, because I carry all types of batteries. Because like
Mhm.
a lot of times it's a BYOB, and that stands for battery. And if you don't,
It doesn't stand for beer.
no.
Darn.
That's after. That's after. That.
That's after. Okay.
One of the things that's good about is that off you know, if you're gonna hide again in the woods, go off trail. Don't hide on trail if you can. Go off trail just because then you know the muggles aren't seeing what you're doing, and you know, 'cause
Right.
normal people walk the trail, and you know if they see you messing around, next time they go down that trail, they might see what you were poking around at. So try and go off trail. Like, see where you want to go, then go 50 to 100 feet off trail and hide a cache there if you can. That's my recommendation. Chad, any others you got there for hiding places for the woods, and or Jesse for that matter?
I really wasn't doing it for hiding places, but
Okay, fair enough. Anything off the top of
um,
your head?
I would say if you're in a woods that has small walking bridges, so
Oh,
up
yeah.
under small walking bridges is always a good one, as long as it's not going to get flooded out, of course, washed
Which
away,
does happen. That does happen.
which does happen. It
Sure
depends
does.
upon where you're at and that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
What else? Trying to think of some of the ones that I've found.
That's all right. Jess, anything else from you on a woodsy hide? Did I forget any?
Oh, you got like your standard pull downs.
Like on a tree,
Yeah.
Mhm.
on a young tree, the pull down,
Yep.
the old.
Mhm.
The
You don't see those much anymore. The pull downs.
Mm-mm.
so when you say pull down, you're talking about the ones that are on saplings and you
Yep.
Yeah, and
They're
you gotta
way up high.
yeah, you gotta ring it. That
Yeah.
eventually grow up and you can't get the cache no more.
Mhm. Or the
Exactly.
ones on a hook that you need another stick to hook up
Yes.
there.
Yes.
yeah, those were the ones that I was talking about that we use tots for out here, and
Right.
they're extremely common for woods hides out here. I've even got a few, but another one is the hanging by a rope or
Oh yeah.
twine or whatever.
Fishing wire.
Mhm.
Fishing
The
wire.
fishing
Fishing
line.
wire, and then you go several trees over
Yeah.
down to a cleat,
Sure.
or
Yeah.
using a limb as a cleat
Mhm.
to hide it. Those I like those
I like
because
those.
Mhm.
you
I like
you
those too.
finally spot it, and then it's like,
How do I
How do
get
I-
it?
how do I get it?
Yeah. Reel it
I,
in.
go ahead, Jess.
No, reel it in. That's what I was gonna say. Is
Yeah.
that what you're
I
gonna
was, I
talk
was
about?
gonna say I took Jess to one of my favorite caches of all time called Reel It In, Chad. I took Jesse to it a couple of years, about 3 or 4 years ago, and it was one of the first really cool caches that I'd ever seen. It's in the woods, it's on a trail, and what it is, Chad, literally, it is a fishing pole like nailed to a tree. Like straight up a tree, straight up a tree. Sorry, I'm off mic. Straight up a tree, and you have to like click it, to like let the thing out, and then the cache is hanging over you over the trail. So like you have to go 15 feet into the woods, and then once you let it go, the cache falls, boom, onto the trail. And then once you get it, you reel it back up, like a fish, and you reel it back up in the tree. It's fantastic. It's such a
Well,
great cache.
one of my favorites is I think it was called an LPC in the woods, and you're a good mile and a half, 2 miles into the woods. There isn't electricity in sight, and then you got this electrical box and electrical conduit going up there, and what looks to be a light, kind of like the white glass light casings.
The
Mhm.
skirt.
It would be it's not opaque, translucent. So it looks like a light bulb, not
Oh,
light
gotcha.
bulb, but
Mhm.
the casing around what the light bulb would be inside up there. Well, once you figure out that you need 314 to open it, because I think something about pi or something like that in there to unlock the case there. Then you unwind it, and that bulb literally comes down. That bulb, I forget what it is made of. It's made out of plastic or something like that, but it was actually the container, and it's got a lid on it, and that was it. And I thought that was the best LPC in the woods I've ever
Mhm.
seen.
I love when woodsy hides take you to things that are hidden in the woods, like old rusted cars that are, being
Oh.
consumed by the earth, or, old structures and things like that. Or like Scott, you found that huge hut thing that time.
Oh God, that
You know,
homeless hut. Oh, I put a cache there.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
I
The
love
old
seeing
rusted
things like
cars,
that.
the old rusted cars in the woods can be as hard as or harder than finding them on train cars
cabooses, yeah.
and cabooses and
Mhm.
stuff. There's one that I found where it was, you know how you got the firewall and then the glass, and then you got the slots there where the defroster would have come up,
Mhm.
and there's a
Mhm.
couple broke out of there, and there was it was a rusted looking mint box
Oh, jeez.
that was magnetized and stuck inside of there, so you don't
Oh, so
notice
you made it difficult.
yeah, I spent probably a good 45 minutes looking for that, but I finally found it's like yes,
No, I
but looking
I got
all
one.
over it.
I got one. I found one where it was the cash was in the glove compartment.
Mm-hmm.
That was fantastic. Um,
I found one at El Rojo's where the cash was in the glove compartment.
the glove compartment. Yeah. I love it in the glove compartment. So yeah, and so one other thing, guys, if you are going to hide in the woods, and we hope that this helps you to convince you to hide one in the woods, make sure you
And go
take
find them in the woods.
what babe?
And go find them in
And
the
go find
woods.
them. Yes. Is take multiple coordinates or take an average of coordinates if your GPS allows you to do that. But tree cover plays havoc, and the thing is that you can't go to Google afterwards and try and pinpoint it because the trees. So you really want to get the best coordinates you can on the first shot, if you can. Uh, so he sold.
So he sold the car. So it was outside of a shop, and it was a relatively beat up old well, not necessarily old, but car, and it was part of his the shooter challenge
Well,
a couple years ago.
so yeah,
Sorry.
take multiple coordinates, no worries, or average your coordinates. Take to try and get the best coordinates you can. Tweak them if necessary. Once a few people find it, put a hint if you want. Put out a-
There are apps for your smartphone that was specifically average the coordinates. So
you definitely want to do that. Definitely. It's not the same as hiding urban, especially in the summertime when you have trees just like covering you.
when you're preparing, just set it on averaging, set your phone down, and
Phone down for a minute. Yeah.
and let it go while you're putting the cache in place.
What is Casey? If you find your coordinates are off, let the CO know what reading you had. Oh, absolutely. I appreciate getting the memo from
Yeah.
Cash. Absolutely agree with that. Yeah. Take chords. If your chords are off, take them or just email them, and say like, hey, you know what? I found it 20 feet north of ground zero, just so they know, like, because you know what? We're not all perfect. And that happens.
But don't in your log say you're bad chords. Found it. Found it here. It's like so my GPS found it at these chords.
These chords. Yeah.
Right.
Trust me.
Be friendly.
I'm the king of bad chords. There's a reason because they're called Scott Burke's close in this area. There's a reason for that. Okay. That's about it for Chad. Anything else you want to add, or Jesse for that matter? Anything else you want to add? We're running late here. So to add to Woodsy High discussion. Jess, anything else?
No, I think we hit all the major points. I mean,
All right.
I love woodsy hides.
Yes, as do I. Yes. It's a shame. Like the problem right now is like the snow is like it's gotta be it's probably the snow will probably be to our knees in the woods.
Oh,
right now.
yeah.
And like Chad, did you ever go caching with snow up to your knees?
No.
It's brutal. Brutal.
Well, I actually technically I have, but it was just a virtual. So
Oh, dude, it is rough. You get oh sorry guys, you get so tired so fast because like it's a workout, a
Mhm.
huge workout. All right, so guys, so there you go. Hope we convinced you to go hunt and go place a woodsy hide. We'd appreciate it. Chad, next week's show, Chad. Next week, El
Mhm.
Rojo, you're on tap, buddy. El Rojo, next week's show is the travel bug race discussion. What we're doing, Chad has last year, or how was it, 2 years ago? When did we do this? I don't remember when we
I
did
think
it.
it was last year. It was
We had
about,
a race.
about a year ago.
Jesse and I had a
about
race
a little over a year ago. Yeah.
Who can get Chad first? It was marred with controversy over who won. Technically, I did, but there's some to say Jesse's like Trump and thinks she won. So, I went there. Yeah.
Oh.
You did not go there. Yikes.
So we're gonna bring it back to us. So we got to get it back to Chicago and back to the port. So we're gonna try and figure out how to do that. So next week's show we're gonna talk about it, how to do that. Ulra, who's gonna help out. So that's the plan for next week's show. It's just gonna be a fun show. Just a travel bug race discussion. See if we can figure out. See if we can all and we're including you guys because we may involve you guys as you know. When I say you guys, I mean listeners of the show. We may involve you guys into this. How somehow we could work you guys into this. So we're gonna see what we can do, and we'll just have a brainstorming session. Right here live on the show next week. You won't learn much, but it might be some fun. So. What's this? Jeeps is going to have company in the cage tonight.
No.
Yes.
No, the dog will get the comfy pad.
Yes. So there you go. That's next week's show, guys. So thank you so much, guys. Everybody who called in the chat room. Thanks, guys, for talking about this tonight. We appreciate it. And should we have a show this Saturday? Is there a show this
No.
Saturday? No show. All right.
No, we're going caching this Saturday. We're gonna figure out a way
I know
to brave the weather.
So no show on Saturday. So we'll talk to you guys next week for the travel bug race discussion. All right, guys. Here we go. Please join us again every Wednesday night at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central as we stream live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on our website, geocachingpodcast.com. The archived video versions of our podcasts are available on our website or on our YouTube channel, and the audio versions are available on your favorite podcatcher. If you like the show, please head on over to Apple Podcasts and rate, review, and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it, and it really helps the show when you do. If you prefer to watch the show, make sure you click the subscribe or get notified button to know exactly when we go live. And hey, if you haven't already, please consider becoming a patron on our show. With tiers starting as low as $3, you get a ton of additional information, extra videos, extra audio, only available to our patron members. Please head on over to patreon.com today and subscribe. That's patreon.com. Here we go again, Chad. /the Geocaching Podcast. Thanks once again to our sponsors, Cachly, Logwork, FDF Geocacher Magazine, the Max Suds Body Company, Practical Geocaching, Arted Crafted, and PathBags.com. Please visit our sponsors, and when you make that purchase, you tell them the GCPC sent you. That's all we got this week. We'll see you next week, talking geocaching, taking your phone calls. In the meantime, be good, be safe, hug your loved ones, and we will talk to you guys next week. We are clear. What does Ian say in there? # Woodsy hides? What is Ian doing?
Yeah, he said oh my gosh, there were a lot of comments since he said that.
So
they're shooting
Here
lots
we
of
go.
comments off the last minute.
He
or two.
said it was like the grand finale at the fireworks.
Exactly.
He said, take to social media with a hashtag. Let's bring back the Woodsy hides.
Bring back. Yeah, we could talk to Brian and see if we can, do a whole thing about it. 8-hour show. So the Snowwood hides are a tell. Is that a tell? Is that a hell or a tell? What does a tell mean? I don't know what a tell is there, Cody. Are you caching in the woods on Saturday, hiding Woodsy hides? No, were we going to go to Indiana, Jess? Was that the plan?
We were talking about it. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know that we've made a decision.
I can't So here's the thing, Chad. So the other day it was yesterday when you walked in from work and I was looking at it. I was looking at Project GC.
I think my days are all mixed up.
No, it might have been Monday.
I was ready for the show yesterday. I was like, wait, what?
So Chad, so I'm looking at Project GC because I'm trying to figure out how many counties we have in Indiana, how many we've already done. And I'm like, why can't I find this? I know it exists. It exists. It turns out my membership lapsed. Just like, I don't think you could do it if you're not a member. I'm like, oh, I'm like checking every link. Like, why can't I find this? I'm like going insane. Like, I know I've done it before. I know I've done it.
I get that about once a year, and then I realize my membership lapsed.
I'm like driving myself insane. Like going, why can't I find this? And she happened to walk in the door. I'm like, Jesse, why can't I find this? And she's like, I think it
check your membership.
This time though, I think I did the 3-year membership. I had a good deal on that.
Sure enough, for the record, it did.
Nice.
Yes, it did lapse for the record. Jesse, did yours lapse too?
No, I did what Chad did. I got like multiple years of membership.
Oh, then either you have to look, or you have to give me your username and password to look and see how many counties we've done in Indiana.
The internet guide says not to give out your username and password.
It's all right. She's my wife. It's okay. I think it's pretty safe. But you never know. Oh no, she's giving me the
One
side
would
the side
think.
eye.
I don't know.
Side eye she's giving me. Wow. All right.
Let's see, map counties.
Yeah. So is it? So it's definitely a. It's most definitely a member thing. So Jesse, you have a 3-year membership to that?
I did at some point. I don't know. I know I had like quite a while.
Yeah. I have to re-up. I don't really use it. That's why I
Whoops, I picked Illinois accidentally. I'm like, wait, it's all green.
We're done.
All right, Indiana. I wonder if we're actually the same in Indiana. I don't know.
What do you mean the same? Oh no, wait, probably not.
Probably not, right?
No.
So
No.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13. I have 14 counties in Indiana.
Out of how many?
I don't know. How many does Indiana have? 14 of 92.
Okay. Can you check and see how
Okay.
many I have?
Now let's bring up Mr. Burks.
Just out of curiosity.
Let's
14
see.
you got, huh?
Yeah, I have 14
I've got 4
in Indiana.
in Indiana.
And
See,
Burks, oh,
She
Burks
essentially- she's
also
saying,
has
or just
14.
renew your membership.
You
Scott.
could renew your
I
membership.
can do that too. Yeah.
So Burks also has 14, but I don't think they're the same 14. I might have to do like a side-by-side comparison.
I can't imagine the same 14. No,
I don't
why
think
wouldn't
they're
they
the
be? When have you been
same.
to Indiana without me? Oh, you went with Cam that one time.
I've
What'd you-
been to
yeah,
Indiana
yeah,
without
yeah,
you.
yeah,
You've been to
yeah.
Indiana without me.
Yes.
Let's see. Let me
Look
do
at
a
Earl.
side by
Thanks, Earl. Earl says good things come when you give Scott Burks passwords. Thank you. That's right. Damn straight. Damn straight. Damn Skippy. Thank you. Yeah. Brown.
Burks. Okay, let's see. Let's compare these two.
To see if we're the same.
Yeah, no, they're
might
not the
be.
same.
Really?
Mm-mm.
How different are they? Are they
One.
close? Like
One.
one? Oh, that's not bad.
I have
Okay.
one that you don't, and you have one that I don't.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm,
Not
interesting.
bad. Not bad.
That's not bad at all. All right, we'll figure it
Yeah. So we'll have 2 duplicates.
out. Ian says, "Bro, I have 26 in Indiana. Do better."
Well, that's what we're doing.
Dude, I have way more in Wisconsin. Don't even talk about Indiana. Indiana is like far. That's 45-minute drive. Wisconsin's 20. I can get there quick.
Let's see.
Wisconsin, I'm good.
Let's check Wisconsin.
Oh, we crank Wisconsin.
Yeah, we're doing okay in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That's me. Let me bring you up in Wisconsin. Sorry, we may as well be like navigating maps in
In Germany.
wherever.
Sorry.
Okay, this one. All right, here we have 19 of 72 and 19 of 72.
Really? We got the same in Wisconsin?
We do have the same in Wisconsin, and they are actually the same.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Well, yeah, I've never really done Wisconsin.
Now, I might get another one on Monday.
Where are you going on Monday?
Well, my kid wants me to take him to Davenport. No, to Dubuque, I mean. And Dubuque is
Dubuque,
just
Iowa?
Yeah, and Dubuque is just like right over the border into Wisconsin, where I don't have a cache. We'll see.
You have a cache in Wisconsin?
Not in that county, I'm saying.
Oh. Well, you're gonna have to go back there anyway, so it's your choice, but you're gonna have to go back.
Okay.
Are you cache cheating without me when you go out with your kid?
Sometimes.
Really?
Didn't last time.
What's that all about?
No. Did I? No, we did. We did find it. We had like 2 or 3 DNFs, but we did find one. The snow made things difficult.
Mm-hmm. A Monday. What's Monday?
It's a holiday.
Monday's a holiday?
Monday's President's Day,
Oh, the 15th, right?
the 15th.
Oh, okay. All right, guys.
Boy, we're
We'll see you guys
boring.
next
32
week.
people still watching. We're so boring.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Be well and be safe, guys. Bye-bye. Be well.